G'day, I'm Nev Sweeney and this is Under the Choco Tree. One of the issues we have to deal with, particularly if we want to grow our own food in our urban environment, is the loss of biodiversity, particularly in terms of insects. Insects that not only provide pollination for the fruiting crops that we want to grow, but also the predators that take care of the pests without us having to use a whole stack of nasty chemicals to get rid of them. So if we want to encourage biodiversity and want to encourage these good bugs into our area where we're growing, as with anything, when you want to get people to come and move with you, you provide food, water and lodging. So today I want to talk about the water bit and show you how to make a beneficial insect watering station. One of the things with providing water for our insect friends is that, unlike a bird bath where you can have it nice and deep, if it's too deep there's a chance they can fall in and drown, and so you want to have something shallow. Okay, that's fine. That also means that in hot weather, and heaven knows we've been getting a whole stack of that lately, when the water is most important, it evaporates quickly and we lose it. So the system I'm going to show you has a bottle that you keep filled. It refills the watering station automatically, and while it is a shallow area for the insects to go in, we're going to have some rocks in there so they can climb onto the rocks, get the water and then fly off quite happily. One of the things with the rocks is that I've seen some of these watering stations that have really nice iridescent glass pebbles all shining in the bottom, but the word on the street says that some of the insects can have difficulty grasping onto that. They can fall into the water and drown anyway, so it's a good idea to use gravel, as I'll be showing you how to do. To make the waterer, you'll need a base that contains the water, and a nice terracotta pot saucer will work very well. This is 36 centimetres across, it's about 40 millimetres deep. The size doesn't really matter, so long as you set it up for the size you've got. You're also going to need some 50 millimetre PVC piping and a floor flange so that these guys go together. The idea being that they will be affixed to the bottom of the saucer. Some holes drilled in here, and then we'll put a bottle upturned, the idea being that you set it up so that the neck of the bottle is below the level of the pot saucer, so that what will happen is, as the level drops, the water will fill up, but it won't overfill, you won't lose it all. One of the other things is this tends to be a bit on the rickety side, so got a grey water cuff, and I'll show you how to apply that in a sec. Okay, so assuming you've got yourself a pot saucer and you've got yourself the fitting to go in the centre and your tubing, what we need to do is work out how deep it needs to be. So put the bottle into the pipe, just mark on the side with a pencil, and then measure how long that is from the mark to the end of the bottle. In this case it's 100 millimeters, but it depends on the type of bottle that you're using. It's 40 millimeters deep, so if it's 100 millimeters you want it to come up to about 30, so it's going to keep it deep but not overfill, so that means that this is going to need to be 130 millimeters long, which is what I cut it to. So of course, when putting anything together, silicone is my friend. So before I attach anything, what I'm going to do, get yourself a drill. 1/8 inch is fine, it doesn't really matter a hell of a lot. And put some holes all the way around so you can see that it goes right through into the central tubing. And we'll just drill a few more. Okay, holes are in place. Move the swarf. This goes into the centre. So what we'll do is apply some silicone, which will act as a sealant, as well as keeping it secured to the terracotta pot saucer. That's going to take a little while to go off. Just make sure that the inner holes are lined up with the outer holes. So that'll go off in time. To fit this guy, as I mentioned to you earlier, that goes in, but tends to move around a bit. If you get yourself one of these fellows, it fits onto the end of the bottle quite nicely, and then we fold it down so that in effect you get a three layers of the rubber. So when we fit it down into here, it's snug and you get no wobbling. So the last thing we need to do is to put some gravel in there. So here we have a bucket of 12mm gravel or pebbles. So again, the idea is that the water goes into the bottom, wicks up through these, the insects can land on them, get their water and then fly off without any danger of them falling in and drowning. And basically once the silicone has gone off, she's right to press into service. So it doesn't really matter where you put it, somewhere in the sun is good, but if you've got plants which are nectar producing, lots of flowers, all that sort of stuff, somewhere there, or if you've made yourself a bug hotel, which we'll talk about in another video, put it in close proximity to that. So when they check into your bug hotel, they can then go down the bar and get themselves a drink. So here's one that I made earlier. It's been doing service in our backyard near our bug hotel for about the last 12 months. Seems fairly popular. It's a fairly simple but easy thing to do, and it really counts for our biodiversity, particularly if you get really hot summers like we've had recently up to 47 degrees C. It's really hard on the wildlife if they don't have access to water. So it's well worth putting one of these together and just keeping an eye on it, having a look every so often, making sure there's always water in the bottle. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.